Fatal Fury: City of the Wolves is the next chapter in a nearly decade-long story for SNK. Since 2016, the company has painstakingly reintroduced its most popular fighting game franchises to the gaming world, first with King of Fighters 14, then Samurai Showdown in 2018, and most recently back to King of Fighters with 15 in 2021. In 2025, the company looks to revive another fighting IP, and this time it's one that hasn't seen a new entry in 2.5 decades. After a few hours of hands-on time with City of the Wolves during the recent SNK World Championships, this new Fatal Fury already looks to be worthy of carrying the baton. The demo featured 5 characters from the game's playable selection: Terry Bogard, Fatal Fury's original protagonist, and Rock Howard, the new face of the franchise, were teased when the game was first announced in 2022. 2 more characters, meanwhile, were confirmed to be returning from previous entries: Hotaru Futaba and Tizok, both of whom debuted in 1999's Garo Mark of the Wolves, now become playable again for the first time since the King of Fighters 11 in 2006. All 4 of these fighters are faithful to their original designs. Terry is still a versatile bruiser, while Rock Howard continues to create guessing games thanks to Rage Run and Crack Counter. Hotaru thrives on powerful strikes while in close range, though she does still have a fireball for opponents at a distance, and Tizok can still shift the momentum of a match with one well-timed command throw. The 5th character is Preacher, a student of Fatal Fury alumni Joe Higashi, who uses a similar Muay Thai style. As is standard in fighting games, each character has a slate of normal moves and special moves, which in City of the Wolves also includes 3 different types of super move. Ignition gears are level 1 super moves, which can be performed when one of the 2 bars at the bottom of the screen is filled, as depicted by a star on top of the bar. When both bars are filled, you can turn the ignition gear into a more powerful red line gear for added hits and damage. The final super attack, Hidden Gear, requires special parameters to be fulfilled before you can perform them. These moves were so hidden, in fact, that SNK didn't tell us how to perform them, though we did figure them out for 2 of the 5 fighters in the demo. That doesn't mean they're easy to pull off, however, as one of them required 3 full rotations on the stick before hitting the attack button, while the other was down, down forward, forward twice, then from forward to back and attack. The main new addition within City of the Wolves is the Rev system, a mixture of offensive and defensive mechanics that enhance each fighter's abilities in battle. Some of the Rev system's parts will sound familiar. Rev Arts, for example, are more powerful versions of a fighter's special moves, a la EX specials from Street Fighter 6. Rev Blow, however, is a unique attack that damages an opponent and creates distance at the same time, while Rev Excel lets you link Rev Arts and Rev Blows together for massive combos. There's a new defense-focused ability too, Rev Guard, which is a special block that will push an opponent back further after each blocked attack. All of these are managed by the Rev Gauge, a semicircular bar in the bottom corner of the screen. The Rev Gauge doesn't fill to give you access to Rev abilities though. Instead, the bar fills as you use Rev moves, and once the bar fills, you'll go into an overheat state and lose the ability to use Rev until the bar depletes. Though you're not helpless while in overheat, walking toward an opponent and or landing an attack will speed up the meter's depletion, while a successful hidden gear will automatically set it back to 0. The loss of those powerful tools does put you at a disadvantage. In action, the Rev system creates some exciting possibilities, as chaining moves together makes for flashy and powerful combos. Managing the meter brings a strategic element as well, as the threat of overheat constantly keeps you thinking about whether you can afford to throw a Rev ability and risk losing them for a time. The overheat mechanic is a smart way to ensure that players don't rely solely on Rev in each match, as the threat of being locked out of those moves will force them to proceed carefully.
Stand up!
City of the Wolves also features a modern control scheme suited to accommodate new and novice players. As in other recent fighting games, this smart style adjusts each character's movesets to perform special moves more easily, replacing the traditional sequential command inputs of arcade style with simplified single-button inputs. However, not every special move in a character's arsenal fits into the smart style, as some maintain their command inputs regardless of the player's choice. This is intended to organically encourage new players who start with smart style to eventually make the jump to arcade style. There are a few mechanics from Garu Mark of the Wolves that have transitioned to City of the Wolves, though with some key differences. Just Defense, a precisely timed block which increases health among other perks, makes a return, but accompanying them is a new Hyper Defense ability which acts similarly to Just Defense, but specifically defends moves which hit multiple times. If you're able to sense when an opponent might throw a multi-hit move at you, a Hyper Defense can turn the tables quickly and with style. The most interesting return, however, is SPG, or Selective Potential Gear. Formerly called Top, SPG sees you designate a third of your life bar, as in SPG, which grants you gradual health recovery, more powerful attacks, lessened rev gauge growth, increased super meter growth, and the ability to use the hidden gear attack if both super meters are filled when in SPG. It can be placed at the beginning, the middle, or the end of the life bar, and the farther down it's placed, the more beneficial it becomes once your life bar reaches the SPG zone and it activates. A few characters we played during the demo seem to benefit from specific placements. Tizok, for instance, can use it as a comeback mechanic, where 2 or 3 command grabs can take out an opponent regardless of how far behind he is in the round. After 26 years, SNK is confident Fatal Fury can make its mark in what is becoming an increasingly crowded fighting game space. The team is confident their approach will delight fighting game fans new and old, the tactical elements brought to each match through the Rev system and SPG bringing a unique layer of enjoyment.